Oh yes, now we're ready. What is up guys, welcome back to my channel GG Forex. On today's video, it's going to be a quick, little, short, informative video about the Ichimoku Cloud. It'll be on the screen, I can't pronounce it, but yeah, that one. Greg Secker did a video on this on his last video actually, so go check it out. And I've got a few questions, because on his video he made it look like it was amazing, even though he doesn't like it. He prefers pivots, like me, I prefer fib pivots. But let me just break down what's great about it, but if you've got a small account, does it really work for you? So that's what we're going to go through. So let's jump on my computer and talk about this cloud. Right, I hope you can see me well. I know the angle's really high and it looks funny. It's because I broke my camera, okay? It doesn't work. Right, so we're getting into it. Let's go on to this one. Ignore the right hand side of the screen. Actually, I'll just click off of it to make life a lot easier for everyone. If this goes, it might not go. Right, okay, we're in. It's a weird layout. Let me just change this. Okay, cool. So at the top we have got the daily with the alligator indicator and ATR 10 underneath, and this is the action page. Let's just try and pronounce this again, because it's just impossible. Like, god damn it. Ichimoku Cloud, that's what I'm going for. Right, on the 4-hour chart, the Ichimoku Cloud indicator with a 200 EMA. Okay, right, I've got some beef with this. It's not a strategy, it's an indicator, as long as everyone remembers that this, at the end of the day, is an indicator. It's not a strategy. If you treat it like a strategy, you will lose, okay? I don't know why I'm so happy. It might be the fact that I've had 2 coffees in under an hour, which is probably a bad thing, but we're going to get through this. So, on Greg's video, he says, I think he used the AD USD as a pair, so I'm going to use the same example, that when, I don't know the names of the lines by the way, so I'm going to call them by the colours, because I'm not Japanese, I'm not going to murder the lingo, okay? So he is saying the rules for this trade are, when the blue crosses the orange and the price is above the cloud, and the purple line is also above the price action as well, that is your position for a long. And also, if everything's opposite to what I just said, then it's for a short, okay? So as you can see here, AUD USD is for a long position, because the price here is above the cloud, the blue line has crossed the orange line, and also the purple line is above price action as well. So let me just draw this with horizontal lines, like I do before. And it should make a lot more sense. So really, if I was gonna play it safe, which you should do, I'm gonna change this to a yellow for entry. Let's do another one for stop loss. And he says to play it safe, put the price underneath the cloud. So that's what I'm gonna do. And also with this strategy, you're probably going to have a trailing stop loss, because it'll make the most sense. But with the take profit, it's kind of like, yeah, I'm just going to throw it up here and just sort of hope for the best, because technically you don't know where the price is going to go. It might fall on its ass and hit your stop loss. Everything's green, that's what I'm going to do. Everything's sort of a hit and miss. So for this example, we're just going to assume the price is going to continue to go up, and we're going to get out on the first exit, like Greg says, when a purple line hits the price. So it hits the price here, so this is where we're going to get out. Here's what Greg didn't say that I noticed straight away. It takes a long time for this to happen, because remember, we're on a 4-hour chart, so each one of these bars, let's make it a candle one, because oh my god, you almost died. Right, this is more of a balancing act than anything. Okay, cool. So each one of these candles is 4 hours time in length. So if we're entering here where the line crosses, let me just show you what that is when we actually measure time and price. So gonna enter here, and we're gonna get out up there. So that's 28 bars, and 160 hours. 160 hours, okay? This is important. Let's do some maths. So, calculator. 160 divided by 24 hours in a day. You're looking at 6.6 days. We're calling that 7 days. We're rounding up. We're doing some quick maths, right? That's a week, so that's called a weekend. So within that week, you have got swap fees, broker fees, and I don't know what the fees are called when you hold over the weekend. So you got fees for holding your position overnight, which there'll be at least 6 nights in this, and you got more expensive fees for holding your position over the weekend, which you'll have to do with this as well. So remember that. If you're on a small account, you don't really want to be having trades on that have fees. Hence why I'm an interest rate trader. I like to trade at 6 a.m. and I like to get out no later than 9 a.m. Okay, I don't want to get out past 9 p.m. Sorry, 9 p.m. So 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Anything after 9 p.m. I close my stuff down because I don't want to be paying overnight fees and all that stuff. Okay, I haven't got a big enough account to do those sort of trades. So let's say we did this. It's obviously going to be a good trade because it's won. But how much would we have won? Remember, I've got just over 4k account, which I think is quite high, but in the reality of things, it's really not in this game. And obviously Smartcharts does all the maths for you because, you know, who's got time to be doing maths? We've got important decisions to be making. I can't do maths. Right, so in this trade, it looks great, doesn't it? You know, you go in, you have a trading stop loss, and within 1 week, you've made £251. £251, so you think, well, that's great, but remember, you got overnight fees, you got weekend fees, and you got brokerage fees and swap fees or whatever. So if you had a massive account, so let's say I had a £100,000 account, I don't know what the maths are, but within 7 days, if you put this on, you said yes, yeah, bum 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 bum, it looks great, and then over the next couple of days you just check on it to make sure the purple line hasn't hit the price, you'd be like, oh, okay, makes sense, okay, it's hit the price, I'm going to get out, I'm not bothered about it anymore. 7 days down the line, you take 250 quid, so let's just add another couple zeros on that. Let's say it's £2,500 you've made this week. You would say, great, that's an amazing thing, but only if you had a big account. So let me just go back to my theory on this. Remember, I am for the small account people because I have a small account. So I feel like the Ichimoku Cloud strategy is great, but only if you have a big account. And also you've got to take into account the news. If you have a look from when we entered to exited, there's a lot of news going on in the AUD USD space that could have made the price go crazy low and hit stop loss, or may have gone really high and it's been in your favor, you know, but there's no guarantee because, as I said in my previous video, I've been screwed by trading when there's news on. And with this, when you're running for a couple of days, it's inevitable that you're going to get news, whether it goes in your favor or not. So that is my sort of breakdown for this cloud. So let's see if you've got a small account. If you've got a small account, is it worth doing the Ichimoku Cloud, or is it worth doing the pivot? So let me just back out, let me get another chart going, and I will be doing the Fibonacci pivots because it's my favorite, it's my baby. So we're gonna link it together so everything makes sense. So this is saying it's going long. I'm just going to do a short position here because it makes the most sense, and also it kind of follows my strategy because the day before we got lower lows, nice steady pull back to the pivot and then down again. So it falls into my strategy, so I'm just going to use it for this example. So we had a £250 win with the Ichimoku strategy in 7 days, right? With fees. Remember, we got fees, weekend fees, swap fees. So let's just have a look at the 15-minute chart, which is what I like to trade pivots on. And I like to do a 2-to-1 reward to risk trading, as you guys know. So I would have done a short here, well, actually, let's just walk through this properly so I give you guys a good little run through of my strategy and how it works, just in case you haven't watched his videos. If you haven't seen his videos, go check them out because they're full of value and you'll love it. So, highs of the day, lows of the day. It's in our fib, so it's a beautiful setup. It's in our golden zone. I would have my sell entry at the 50 because, you know, the fib pivot's there, so I want to get as much as possible. I want to have my take profit a couple pips below S1, which is here roughly, so that's 62, so that means I want to have a 2-to-1 reward to risk, so half the 62 is 31 pips, so my stop loss will go there. So within this time frame, I have made £171 with a 2-to-1 reward to risk in, let me just do the measurement through time. It'll be less than a day, so price range, time and price range. So I would, let's say I triggered here. Right? Because let's just play the oddball. So within 360 minutes, why would you do minutes? Let's do some maths. I'm crap at maths. 360 divided by 60. So in 6 hours, I've made £171. So in 6 hours, I made £171, and I didn't have any fees involved. All I had was brokerage spreads to pay. That is it, and the spread on this pair is 1.6. So I only had to do 1.6 to cover the spreads of the brokerage because it is one of the major currencies. And I've made £171, and previously with the Greg Secker Ichimoku strategy on a 4-hour chart, which lasted for 7 days, we made £251, but you would get fees. So let's just do some maths. What was it 253 minus, no, my bad, 253 minus 171, which is roughly right. So we only made £82 more doing the Ichimoku strategy, which would have took 7 days, and you would have had fees. So in my personal opinion, I will use the Ichimoku strategy for trend direction. So if I can see the daily going up, if I can see the 4-hour with the Ichimoku Cloud going up and the price is above the green cloud, it's showing me it's a strong upwards trend, then I would carry on doing my fib pivot strategy on the 15-minute chart. But with small accounts, the Ichimoku strategy doesn't really work. You don't get fast returns. Again, if you're working from home or you're working away, you can't put that many trades on. Maybe it works for you, but in my personal opinion, when I was watching it on Greg's video, I go, okay, this is a great strategy or a great indicator to have, but only if you've got a massive account. So if you do 1 or 2 trades a week and you got 100k account, you know, you can make, I don't know, £5,000 to £10,000 that week just off 2 trades that you haven't really watched. So fantastic. But if you've got a small account, which I think most of you have, like I'll say small account is anything under 50k, it doesn't really work. You kind of need to bag your profits in that day, secure it, and take the risk off the table. Again, we've only made £82 more by having more risk for 7 days with fees. So if that makes sense to you guys, if that's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, let me know in the comment box below and just say, look, I like the idea of it, but I don't think it works. So maybe you could use my strategy, just use it as confirmation of trend. That's what I'm going to do with it until I have a big enough account. When I have a big enough account, and I'm talking 50k plus, I'll be running those trades on the Ichimoku, I'm probably murdering that name, all day long, because I place it, I forget about it, I come back a week later, I might have like 5-10 grand extra in my trading account, which is great. But for small accounts, I think it's a no-go. So let me know what your opinions are, guys. Let me know if this video has helped you out at all, because it is amazing. I love talking to you. And yeah, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.